I don't even know when I'm gonna end up finishing reacting to this series, you know. Like, like melanin on our screens this evening. I'm a mama's boy like through and through, so I get it. You know, the fatty firms there, like boom, you do know how you feel about it because it's all over your face. I can tell you, yeah. He said no kids. That's exactly, he said he didn't want no kids. Right. I'm not getting no hopes up about where it's gonna go because we already did that with Charlie and Eve, and look there. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Like, and then you're gonna kiss your teeth after me. Listen, do any of those characteristics sound like marriage material that you'd want to stay married to? I think Orson has got this really, really, really warm energy about him. Why? You're not tired. Oh, Adam and Holly on the wedding night, on the first night, the level of bad and wicked. What going on, people? Them's. I am actually just like, I don't even know when I'm gonna end up finishing reacting to this series, you know, because at this point I just feel like it's a bit ridiculous. Like, so this week we've seen the matches of Alex and Holly and Orson and Richelle. So I can't stop laughing. So Alex, aviation from Brum. You got Holly, beautician from Huddersfield, I think she said. Then you got Orson, who's from St Kitts and Nevis, and then you got Richelle, who's originally from Ghana, right? So we've got a lot of melanin on our screens this evening. Yeah, a lot of melanin. And one thing that first came into my head was, so is it like a decision that's made? And one day, put the two black one in there. Put the two black ones in there because it's what. Is there a reason why they were in the same episode? I mean, you know, I would have thought maybe like Sasha, who was in it last week, is from Warsaw. You know, she's from the West Midlands. Maybe they could have put Alex in the same one with her. Do you know what I mean? Obviously not as a couple. I just mean like, you know, Ross and Sasha, Alex and Holly. So it's just interesting that they put, you know. Anyway, it's cool. So it's all good. So you've got those two that are in the same episode. And what I thought was interesting is that from episode 1, Alex was, you know, like I'd already made it quite clear that I was like, oh, you know, he's already talking about next wives and that. Like, how are you already talking about moving to someone else's wife and you never met your wife yet? So I was a bit like, oh, not really feeling this dude. And then even when they were talking to him about it, he was a bit like, you gonna let me finish? I was like, oh, you met these people today, but all right. But I thought what was really nice in this episode is you got to see, like I said, there he's got a hard exterior. Obviously, works really hard. You know what I mean? Aviation, you know, boxing. You know, he's obviously a fit guy. So he's you know, he's got this harsh exterior, but actually seeing him with his family and his mum, he just saw that little boy just come into him when Charlene was asking about his relationship with his mum and stuff, and he just broke into the biggest smile. Now I'm a mama's boy in it. Like, I'm a mama's boy like through and through, so I get it. I absolutely get it. So watching him with his mum and the photos and then when he was getting married and you know she's all looking all amazing and with her little fascinator and stuff and putting his dicky ball good and you know I can see where that love comes from with the family. So that was really cool. I also really liked Holly. I thought she came across really, really well. She's got like a really nice spirit about her, like really nice eyes. There's obviously a chemistry, which I thought was really cool as she was coming down the aisle and he turned and stuff and he was like, wow. I thought it was very, very smooth with the flowers that he gave to the mum. I thought that was really, really cool. And I don't know if there's anybody else that does this yet. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I always find that when it is like there's always this hesitation in me to be like, you know, do they know that? Because obviously when they sit down into the family and, you know, the family has got a certain hue, I'm like, I wonder if, like, you know, that there's any kind of like, oh, them black. Do you know what I mean? I always wonder if that's something. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if there's other people. But that always goes through my head. Like, I wonder if like there's any kind of like oh. But it seemed that everybody was just really, really gelled and really, really open, and that was really, really nice to see. And like I said, that thing on the flowers is really cool. I love when his auntie was like, not even start yet, let me start ball. I'm just like, it's just really good to, it's just good to see, like, and start, like, I feel like I'm at home. So that was really cool. So yeah, they really connected. I thought their vows were cool. Like, the fatty firms there, like, boom. I'm like, that's quite cool as well. And yeah, there does seem to be like there isn't like an instant attraction, so that's really really nice. The fact that she's got two kids, right? So I guess that's the biggest thing out of this episode, right? So she tells him that she's got two kids, and he's like, and again, the editing, you don't know whether the editing is exactly what his face was saying, but in that moment, he was like, cool, I got you, like, all right, safe. And then it cuts to his solo bit, and he's like, I guess I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, sorry. So I'm like, well, bro, you do know how you feel about it because it's all over your face. It's all over your face. So I'm just like, well, you do know, and we all know. Maybe she don't know, but we know. So then when he then gets the opportunity to talk to, so he's speaking to the friend now, the best friend, and I don't know what it is about this season, but I feel like this season more than anyone I've ever seen before, there is some kind of big boy information. Yeah, it's a big boy information that they're coming back to the brides with, never the grooms, by the way. Well, I guess with Ross, his friend did tell him that Sasha was celibate. But to me, that's not big news. Do you know what I mean? It's not big news. It's just like, okay. But having children, having two kids, they're not finding people attractive. One. With Lacey, it wasn't so much that she wasn't found attractive, it was that he didn't compliment her and called her twin hot. Or wow. That was it, wow. And then you had, was it Adam and Polly? And obviously him being like, I'm looking for my brunette baddie, and then obviously her best friend, big up Alfie, man like Alfie being like, I got something to tell you. So in this one, her friend Gavin or Jack was like, asking him questions. And to be fair, I do feel like it's important for friends to let the other people know who they're getting married to. That listen, it's not just them on their own. We are coming with the friends. So I've got my friends back. And I'm letting you know I got my friends back. But I did think when he was talking about, this is the best version of Holly that you're gonna get because she's healed. I'm like, I get the fact that you probably want to let him know that she's been through some stuff, and what you really just want to safeguard is him hurting her, like, but also like, you don't really need to make it sound like so all these million thousands of broken pieces that she's just gaffer taped and sellotaped together, and this is the best she's gonna get. I'm just like, all right, man, like. But I get that it was probably coming from a good space, but a little bit of me was like, okay. Obviously, when he was like, "Oh, you've got kids, they're teenagers. How do you feel about that?" And Alex is like, "Well, I didn't really ask that. My preference on the shopping list was I didn't want kids." But what I do rate Alex for though, well, two things really. One, for being honest. I'll come back to that in a moment. But one, for being honest, he was asked a direct question and he was honest. And secondly, he gave the reason as to why. It wasn't because he doesn't like kids. It was because he was like, I don't think I've been in a situation where I've had to be fatherly. So imagine, these are the two most important people to you. That's what she said, right? As any mother would likely say, I'd imagine. But someone who's never had any experience with kids. And rightly, bearing in mind it's the first day he's met you, and I've now got to think about like my life with two grown children. Like I've had no experience with. Like I can understand there being hesitation there. So I think actually that's a fair point. I think where he let himself down is that he hadn't told her that. So, that's what I'm saying. He was being honest, but he's being honest with the wrong person because realistically, like, Jack couldn't, like, his mouth was just dripping with the readiness to go and tell the friend, like, I need to come tell you, yeah. He said, no kids. That's exactly, he said he didn't want no kids. Right. And I'm just like, fam, like, I get it. You want to let her know straight away, but I did feel a little bit like, I don't know. Like, with the other friends and stuff, I do feel that I know it's a difficult one, isn't it? Like I said, I'm sure it was just done with the best of intentions, right? But at the same time, it's a bit like he was ready to run with that information, ready. So then they speak about it, and she's like, the friend and her, and she's like, everything's going well, but the fact that he's told you that, she starts, crying and stuff, and unbeknownst to her, like Alex is having some conversation with his mum, who's basically like, look, I met your dad. He had 3 kids. We were together for a very long time, and he was like, I'm not gonna let something that I don't like eclipse or so. And again, it's all in his wording. So in that VT bit, when it was just him, he was like, I don't know how I'm really feeling, but your body is quite clearly saying this is something that like ain't the one. And then you're saying to your mum that like, I'm not gonna let something that I don't like that's again, the wording is slightly different to, oh, I don't think I'm ready, something that I'm apprehensive of, something that I didn't plan for, something that I don't like, is what you said. So I'm like, okay, how do you actually feel about it? But you're saying to your mum, look, we're in it. And what I thought was really awesome, right, was just how much the family is just unified. And his mum was saying, it's not just how well you guys have connected, it's how well all the family have connected as well. Like, it just feels right. And I guess you've got to be in that mode and in that room to be able to feel that. So, it's really easy for us to be like, what? But, for his mum to be like, I can't imagine too many mums would be really like, oh yeah, like, I'm looking to front up everybody tonight, because really, they're wise and they know how these things can go. So I think the fact that she's saying that was a big, there's a big thing in my head just as a viewer. Like, I'm like, I really hope that that can work out then. And then, and then obviously they have this whole thing on the bench, because then Holly's like, I need to talk to you. And they go on the bench, and she's like, look, so what are you saying about the kids then? Because I'm hearing that you weren't really honest about it. And he was like, look, you've got 2 beautiful children, like, and I've got you, like, I can't wait to be part of it, and whatever. I think we're gonna be good. Pulls out the roses, having a little kiss, 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 and it's all lovely. Like, again, they're vibing, and it's all good. So I'm like, cool, cool. And then it cuts to them for the last time before we go to back over to Orson and Richelle. But before I go into Orson and Richelle, the next clip, and this is the reason why I'm just like, well, 2 things actually. When it ended like that, I was like, I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not getting no hopes up about where it's gonna go, because we already did that with Charlie and Eve, and look there. Do you know what I mean? It's only really my man, the clown, and Kieran and Christine. They're the only ones that's really carrying the banner of any hope on this show for me, any hope at all. And maybe now actually Ross and Sasha, because a little clip from their honeymoon looks cool as well. But I don't even know what they were arguing about. Yeah, I don't know what they were arguing about. But he gets up and tells her to be respectful, and she's talking about so, and then he's like, "Who you talking to?" And she's like, "Who you talking to?" And then she kisses their teeth after him. I'm like, oh dear. And I guarantee, yeah, they've already been physical. I guarantee they've already been physical, because the attraction was already there. That kiss on the bench with the roses was telling me already that like that night tonight's gonna be a juicy night for the two of them. So I'm like, this is another example of probably something happening too quick, and now look there. Do you know what I mean? So literally seeing that, I'm just like, what on earth is the point of even watching this show? Like, really? Like, really? And then the other thing I was thinking about with these two, and I'm not saying this is what they did, but it just popped into my head when they both walked in, and it's the first time I've ever thought about it. Are there people that would genuinely come on this show? Obviously, they bring your nearest and your dearest, your friends, your family. You get this beautiful like wedding day put on with lovely the table flowers and the centerpieces and all the this and the light them and everything. I think all these things. So I'm like, I wonder if people genuinely come on this show just to have a wedding day. So at least they know they've had a wedding day. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, rather than I'm not saying they don't care about the marriage itself, but I wonder if there's people that just want to put on the nice suit, they want to put on the nice dress, they just want the day, coming up in the cars, having to walk down the aisle with they want that more than anything else, and that would then compel them to jump on a show like this, because I cannot fathom, I just cannot understand it. Like, unless the metrics that these guys put together. I mean, I guess maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. It is only the first week, but how are you having any kind of argument like that? Like, who you talking to? Who you talking to? Like, and then you're gonna kiss your teeth after me? Listen, and I still go back to Charlie and Eve when she said she was banging down the door in the middle of Mexico, banging down her door. Like, I just cannot understand how it gets to that. If you come on here for genuine marriage, because do any of those characteristics sound like marriage material that you'd want to stay married to? I just don't get it. Anyway, so that's them. Then you got Orson and Richelle, and it's interesting because like I think Orson has got this really, really, really warm energy about him. Like everything, every time he came on the screen, I'm like, this guy seems sick, man. Like there's a really, I'm cooking for his family, with the cricket and everything. Even how he's talking about that relationship he was in, where they were unfaithful and stuff. And all them people out there that have been unfaithful. Do you see what you do to people? Even long after you've gone and you've left these scars that it's just not, just don't do it, man. If you don't want to be with someone, just love it and leave them. You don't have to cheat. Like, why cheat? You wouldn't want someone to cheat on you. So just anyway. So him talking about that again, warm. It's a good vibe about him. He seems like a good guy. That's the vibe I got with Richelle. I really respected the fact that she's gone into business on her own. That she is very independent, it sounds like, as well, and that she don't take no mess. Like, clearly don't take no messing on any regard, anyhow, anywhere. And not to mention as well that I think that they look like a great couple together as well. She's absolutely stunning. Like, 48's mad. She does seem like she's got jokes as well. She's got like a very dry sense of humour. Like that whole thing about, respect your elders then and whatever. But I like how respectful she was to Orson's mum, and she came and introduced herself to her. I thought their vows were very, again, respectful, like very realistic as well. The kind of vibe that I got from that. And she said that she needs someone who is alpha. She said beat the chest alpha male. I think he's got that stature and that energy about him, but he seems like a very emotionally intelligent guy as well. So for example, when she's firing like a bazillion questions at him in the space of literally 7 to 8 seconds, I could understand why his back was up. Just like, why? Your mouth not tired. I mean, at one point it was like, let me just hold your head, man. Let them take the shot. Let them just look, cool now, just shh. But I can also appreciate in those moments where you don't know someone that all this intimacy, like trying to, like, I can imagine she's like, I want to know some stuff while we've got some time. So what you saying? Where you been? What do you do? How long do you do it? Wherefore? How big's your foot? Is it 12? Is it 30? How big is your foot? So I can understand that, like she said, I've just met you. Of course, I've got questions. But I think, again, to his credit, like, if you make me feel like I'm in an interview, like, that's gonna rub me up the wrong way. It just is, because what is this? You know what I mean? When did we turn into an exam? Like, we will find these things out as time goes on. Do you know what I mean? And when it's natural to do so, like, but this pepper, that's gonna get very tired very quick. So I also rate the fact that he didn't waste no time in telling her. And even the way he told, he's like, oh man, you feel like it can be a bit extra, a bit over the top, just question, just extra. And I look, and obviously they've edited it so well with the dum dum, the dramatic music. So when he said extra, my initial thought was, oh God, what is she going to say? What is she going to say? Oh, your car extra. That's what I expected her to say, but she didn't. So I was like, okay, cool. So she took it really well. I think she initially was a little bit like, you're coming for me on the wedding day. I met you just a couple hours ago, and now you want to start calling me extra. You're too store-shut. You're too uptown. So I can imagine that she probably was a bit like taken aback. But like she said, I rate the fact that you were just so upfront about it, which to me I think is a very confident, assertive, like male alpha thing to do. I'm not saying that females can't do that, obviously, because they do. But I feel like, you know, you wouldn't want some little boyish, like, oh, you know, I did kind of feel like, you did say, you know, he was, you look extra. You look extra, a bit over the top, you know? And so I did rate that as well. So again, I thought it was really cool. But then flip them to the following clip on the honeymoon, and it looks like he's also turned into a little bit of the Riddler. But like, how you feel about me? How you feel about me? Do you feel like? And I don't know whether that's what's annoyed her, because it looks like she has, like, I mean, I hate the word ick, but she looks like she's got the I, the C, and the K exclamation marks in that clip. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So I just, as that ended, I just couldn't help but laugh. I'm just like, yet another one where the honeymoon has gone to absolute shit. Like, what is the point of this show? I'm telling you now, yeah. If I went on holiday like that and a honeymoon and we argued like that, I don't business about not attraction. I don't care. Like, because I get that you might see eye to eye on stuff, and that's absolutely fine. But you know, all this getting up and moving, banging down doors, who you talking to? Like, no, no. It's been 2 days. It's been 2 days. Sorry, my stomach hasn't even probably settled yet from the plane journey and the food, and you want to be all up in my ears, and then, but I did like what she said. What she said? She's like, oh, I choose peace over penis, and I'm like, I think that is a mantra. Obviously, if that's your inclination. I choose valor over vagina. I don't know if that works the same, but either way, like, just wanting peace. Do you know what I mean? Wanting peace and not wanting some. I've just thought, actually. She said that she's dismissive avoidant. Is that what she said? So if something's not going kind of the way that she wants, she'll just remove herself from the situation and protect her peace. So I wonder whether or not, rather than articulate what it is that was bothering her about Orson or what happened in that situation, she just picked herself up and went about her business. So that'd be interesting to find that out. But either way, I'm just like, because the concept of this show, I think, is a really good concept. Like, to take two people that have entered themselves into a scientific experiment. Again, I don't know what the science is, but a scientific experiment where you get paired with someone who scientifically you should be compatible with, is a brilliant concept of an idea. You don't know who they are, you've never seen them, but it says that you and this person are compatible. Yeah, it just feels like, I don't know, this is a bit gimmicky, man. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, we've started it now, so I'm going to finish it, really. Let's be honest. But it's just a little bit annoying that you just see these things and you're like, it'd just be great. I know it might not be the most entertaining TV to not have conflict, but it'd be more interesting to me to see how these relationships genuinely flourish when you put people together that are meant to be together. Like, if Alex has actually said on his application shopping list, I mean, I want to pick them. Why would you pair him up with someone that wants to? Because I know he's family orientated, like he said, and he loves his family, but that don't mean he's ready to be a dad. And if he's had these conversations, if he's bold enough to sit down there with the best friend and say, "Look, I'll be real with you, bro. I didn't ask for no kids, not one, never mind two." How have you made that connection to put in with Holly? I just don't understand that. So, yeah, we'll see how the rest of it goes. But I had to laugh, man. What an absolute shambles. So far, it's been a shambles. It really has. At least Sasha and Ross look like they're happy. And I saw a little kiss on the bed there and stuff, so I guess she's a little bit more comfortable with, like, their levels of affection and stuff. That's really cool. Oh, and the last thing that I saw as well, which is another reason that made me go, ugh, is Adam and Holly. So, she's like, we slept together on the first night and we've not done anything since. That has made me feel crap. Like, I don't know if it makes me, because the show started and they're like, oh, we're off to to I don't even know where they said, because when they said it, I'm like, I don't know where that is. It sounded like somewhere Italian. I don't know, but when they announced that, they were all, arm in arm and stuff, and I thought, oh, maybe I've judged him too quickly, because that's some physical closeness and proximity and stuff that I wasn't really expecting, considering you were asking for Megan Fox. So that was really good. But then to hear that actually, like, you decided that you're gonna sleep with her because no one told you to do that. You decided you're gonna do that on the wedding night, on the first night, right? And you ain't done nothing since. Like, the level of bad and wicked that is, yeah, because you already done know, like you said, that you weren't attracted to her. So what did you think? How did you think that, like, the intercourse of that was gonna make that any better? How does that make sense? How you've sat down there with your full out chest and told the best friend that, like, I don't want to settle for no one, and yet you decided to jump into bed with her on the first night, knowing full well that you weren't attracted to her. And that's a week later where she's probably thinking, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, to her credit, she has been told. The best friend did tell her. Alfie did tell her. She has been told. But that's a mixed message in it. It's a mixed message. And no one deserves to be in that kind of situation. I know some people might be like, you know, he probably needed to see if he could and if that could, whatever. But if I know full well, yeah, if I'm not attracted to someone, sleeping with them it's not happening. Because realistically, I don't really want you to touch me. Do you know what I mean? That if I'm really not feeling you like that, I don't want you to. That's me. I wouldn't need to sleep with you to find out. Like, it would only be, and if that attraction has grown and I started to see you in that way, then I'm like, oh, actually, do you know what? I am actually like, okay. But to do it the other way around, it just seems so backwards. Like, so yeah, whatever redeeming thought I had about him at the beginning of the episode evaporated quickly at that point. So I guess let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see what happens tomorrow. What absolute carnage happens tomorrow. Yeah, I'd love to know what you guys thought of this. Like, just, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Just let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to know. But if you did enjoy this, then please drop me a like and subscribe. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.